Here they come then, our final mini grid of the weekend. Finley Lyons is there in front of your camera, about to put his car on that #1 spot. We'll go and catch up with him to see if he thinks that he can stay there and take that GP plate win. Finley, just behind you. How much would it mean to you today to win the GP plate?
It would mean everything to me, to be honest.
And what do you think you've done differently to other people this weekend, which means you've started on pole position for this final?
Well, in the heats, all I needed to get was top 3s to be at the final. Trying to save the tyre, doing everything best I can to have the better advantage for the final. And in the pre-final we got the win, so that means we have the advantage going into the final of controlling the start.
Well, best of luck to you, Finn. We'll see you later on.
Thank you.
I'll head over to the Strawberry Racing driver of Albie Friend, who has also been really, really strong this weekend. Albert, how are you feeling ahead of this race?
A bit excited and a bit nervous, but I just really want to win. So.
And you've raced in the GP plate before. Out of all of the one-off races that go on in a year, what do you think sets this weekend apart from some others?
I don't know, it's just like a bit of a race that just means all or nothing. So if you don't win, then there's really no point of finishing.
Good luck, Albie.
Thank you.
I also want to speak to Emerson McAndrew-Uren, who had a really tough quali earlier on in the weekend, but has found himself on the second row ahead of this final. The DHR driver, Emerson, first year this year in Mini instead of Micro, and you're doing really well, but how are you feeling ahead of this race?
Yeah, a bit nervous, but I think we can do something in this final.
Do you reckon you're going to be taking the GP plate home?
That's what we're going to try and do.
And why do you think you might deserve it more than some other drivers?
I've worked really hard this week.
Best of luck, Emerson. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thanks, Harry Frill, for coming to watch me.
Thanks, Harry. Emerson will keep heading behind then, and we'll catch up with, who have we got? We've got Joshua Griffin there, KR Sport driver, new to KR, was previously with DHR. Josh, can you sum up your Kartmasters experience so far?
It's not been very good. We had a really bad day on Friday, but we made it up on Saturday. I'm hoping for the win on today.
And how tough do you think this final is going to be?
Very, it's Kartmasters. It's different than every race.
And KR Sport then, what have they said to you ahead of this final to make sure that you're fast and that you're going to make those passes to the front?
Yeah, they've just told me I need to overtake and get to the front.
Good luck then, Josh. We've got some more time to keep heading back down the grid. We have got Oliver Spencer here. He is a teammate of Joshua Griffin. They're both in the KR Sports team. Both got a really good chance of maybe taking that GP plate home. Oliver, we saw you have a little bit of bad luck yesterday, but you're at the sharp end again. You feeling confident?
Yeah, 100%.
And how much would it mean to you to take a GP plate home?
I mean, it would be good, but it's going to be hard.
Hard indeed. The bell has gone then. They're going to send the MiniMaxes off. I'm going to clear the grid and I'm going to head over to Henry and Piers for this MiniMax race.
Thank you, Nicole. It's a shame we didn't get Oliver Spencer's dad in there because he was looking quite Euro as a kart mechanic. The shorts, I think he let himself down with a pair of DAPs, not brightly coloured trainers, however. But there's always next year, Mr. Spencer, always next year. Here we go then, MiniMax. This class first came to Kartmasters in 2003. Adam Christodoulou, Will Stevens, Tom Grice amongst the winners. Billy Albone, Danny Harwood, Jack Barlow, George Russell and the rest. Dexter Patterson won it in 2016. Last year it was Cole Denham who was your champion. It's Finley Lyons who leads the field away. Albert Friend alongside him on row number 1. Emerson McAndrew-Uren and Luca Holmes-Ballock on the second row. It's a big happy birthday to Emerson McAndrew-Uren. He's 11 today. Tom Reed, Josh Griffin, Oliver Spencer and Jack Collins in the next 3 rows.
Row number 5 starts with Zach Starbuck, and on the outside it's Denny Babicek. Then we have Edward Haynes, Harry Taylor on row 6, Max Chilman and Leo Livings on row 7, Max Wheatley and Jensen Chalk on row 8.
Row number 9, Josh Cormack, then followed by Alfie Mew, Ollie Thompson, Devin Taylor, Sebastian Clark and Ari Kallenberg. Archie Rogers Tyler and Theo Bradshaw. He's on a redemption mission.
Here we go, yeah. Then Finley Hines, Cameron Tipping, Soren Gallagher, Miles Burton, Larry Price, Warwick Milam, George Fountain and Riley Murrow, 32, the top 32 then, 33, Fraser Anderson, 34, Alfie Ward, 35, Otis Cleary, and 36, Benjamin Lawn. I'm looking forward to this one, Henry.
Yes.
MiniMax has been one of the most hotly contested, especially of the small carts.
Now, I'm just trying to think about Albie Friend. Did he win the pre-final this morning on track and then have a problem, or was it Finley Lines that won? Why is Albie Friend starting second? I don't know. Sam Pooley online watching this. Sam won this event 10 years ago. I forgot it's Anderson's birthday on Tuesday, not today, but there we go. So, Albie Friend, who finished, let's have a little look, he finished second in this event a year ago. Finley Lines finished fifth a year ago. Josh Griffin was sixth. A lot of the other drivers competed in the MiniMax division, but Friend and Lines and McAndrew Uren will be looking to make this an absolute karting clinic with support from Ballack, Reed, Griffin, Spencer and the rest. They're into the tram lines, the lights are out, we are off and racing side by side. The two synergies, Ballack and Finley Lines. Holmes Ballack has been spun around and Finley Lines has lost a dozen or more places. They tried to go side by side through turn number 1 and they locked wheels, and that could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse, but they somehow managed to continue without having a major one. And there's a move up the inside. That Zip Factory kart there, that was Zach Starbuck. Starbuck in the number 88, he was second in last year's MiniMax Grand Final.
Yeah, Starbuck up the inside of Spencer, who had a good start. I think Spencer made the most of the issues between the Synergy karts, and there we see, I think that is the Synergy of...
Holmes Ballack is at the back.
Yeah.
Now we'll try and catch up to see where Finley Lines, the pole sitter, the drivers that started first and fourth, teammates at the first corner of the Grand Prix. Mike Spencer's going to be absolutely doing his nut.
Here we go, Albie Friend is back at the front of the field. We've seen that a lot in the heats. He took, of course, he was fourth in time qualifying and then undefeated in the heats, only then to be second on the grid for the main event. But now we see the Zip Factory driver, Starbuck, going around the outside once again, fighting still with Spencer. Is it Spencer? Yes, it is, Oliver Spencer.
That's a bit naughty! Oh, there's defending and then there's driving someone off the inside of the track. And Oliver Spencer could have okay, we're not going to show a replay of that. If that's okay, Mr. Producer. I think the first picture said enough, but you just cannot drive from one side of the circuit to another to defend on lap number 2 of a 15-minute race. I know it's the Grand Prix, but come on, boys and girls. It's, that could have, Oliver Spencer will check his underwear and then carry on driving. Yeah,
he is carrying on. He's going to the Fullerton S's now. He's lost pretty much half a lap on the lead, so we're unlikely to see Spencer feature again, which is a shame for him because he had a good start. He was up inside the top 6. Unfortunately, there was over-exuberant defensive driving, turning down another driver from that Zip Factory driver right there. But we still race on, of course. Front of the field, it is Griffin that looks up the inside but doesn't go for it at the lead of the race, and we're now looking at the 69
of Max
Gilman.
Max Gilman, who was 16th last year, passing Jensen Chalk, the 2023 Rotax Grand Finals MiniMax champion, up at the front. Friend, here we go. It's Strawberry Racing versus KR Sport versus Dan Holland Racing. Yeah. It's the
powerhouses.
Sam Pollock's going to get upset at me, but it's the big 3, only because, Sam Pollock, they're in 5th position. There's the big 4 in Rotax now with Strawberry, DHR, KR and Sam Pollock Racing. Synergy are there as well, and actually Leo Livings, the third of the Synergy drivers, from 14th on the grid, Leo Livings is creeping into play. So all the main players in terms of the teams are still pretty well placed. Let's not count out Tom Reed, the farmer. Tom Reed is cutting swathes through the crop to try and get up to the front.
Yeah, Holmes Ballock's taking the fastest lap on that last lap on his fight back through, of course. We saw him fall down the order. Someone who's fighting through the field as well. Riley Murrow from 32nd to 15th so far, going very, very quickly. We'll keep half an eye on that Sam Pollitt racing car as well.
Murrow, the 2022 Motorsport UK Bambino champion. Edward Haynes, the 2020 Bambino champion, is there in 8th position. And of course, Emerson McAndrew-Uren, last year's British MiniMax champion. And Finlay Lines is not out of this one yet.
2.6 seconds off the lead only for Lines. And we're seeing the front four there kind of helping each other, but also kind of jostling for position at the same time as we see the Strawberry Racing driver of Tom Reed in 4th, having a look but not getting it done. You can see the time it costs him every time an unsuccessful move happens.
Luca Holmes Ballock has set the fastest lap of the race. That has now been taken away by his Synergy teammate Finlay Lines, who is up to 7th. I'm wondering if we can have a look at the replay of the first corner where Lines and Synergy went awry, but Finlay, I mean, here we go. It was just wheel to wheel.
So
Friends got the drop from the outside.
Oh, Friends squeezed Finlay Lines onto the curb, and then also I think it was Emerson McAndrew-Uren
was sort of
got
right
into the
on
back.
the rear bumper.
Yeah, but I think
and
it was
another kart spinning at the back.
I don't think it was McAndrew-Uren forcing the 28 around. I think it was more the 28 backing up as he saw Finlay having a little incident.
Now, who was the Strawberry Racing driver spinning in the middle of that pack? It was Zdeněk Babicek who spun in the middle of the pack as well. Didn't see that. That was lost in there. So, Finlay Lines, do you remember? No, you won't remember. A rhetorical question.
21st night of September.
Do you remember the 1985 Indy 500, Danny Sullivan's famous spin and win? Could we see a replay of that? Finlay Lines, his head is down and he is absolutely hurtling up towards the front of the pack. Griffin, Friend, Reed, McAndrew-Uren have got a 1 second lead over Sam Pollitt Racing's Hartlepool-based Latvian Jack Collinson. Then 2 seconds back, the O-plate Finlay Lines. Finlay Lines has got Edward Haynes to help him. Haynes pushing him along. Then it's Zach Starbuck on the Zip Factory cart. And behind Starbuck it's Leo Livings, Josh Cormack, Max Gilman, Jensen Chalk, Theo Bradshaw, Harry Taylor, Riley Murrow, Finlay Hines, Max Wheatley, Devin Taylor from South Africa, Benjamin Lawn started 36th, he's up to 19th, Sebastian Clark rounding out the top 20, Luca Holmes Ballock has recovered to 24th.
And going very, very quickly, set the fast lap on that last lap, but the front group is squabbling still. Griffin got past Friend, Tom Reed got past McAndrew-Uren on that last lap, and it looked like there was a bit of jostling for position going down towards the Fullerton S's, but no change of position. No, I lied. Josh Griffin is now in 3rd place. Tom Reed up to 2nd, so it's currently a Strawberry Racing 1-2.
Yes, it is. Tom Reed hasn't had a national level podium finish yet. He's been very, very quick. Pace over 1 lap, unbelievable. Racecraft, well, they've got Mark Baines, Mark Kimber, is helping out. Mark Baines doing a lot of driver coaching at Strawberry Racing. Nathan Rawlings running the junior arm of that team now. Paul Spencer looking after the juniors and seniors. And well, the Mark Baines driver coaching extraordinaire. There's Finlay Lines. You're looking at something and sharp intaking of breath.
Well, the reason I'm doing that is because Finlay Lines has driven off of the Thule Motorsport car of Edward Haynes, done the fastest lap of the race, 3/10 faster than the leaders, and he's closing the gap on his own. So that Synergy car, despite the small amount of the first lap, clearly not hampered or damaged.
I don't think it was the two silly drivers making a mistake. Yes, you had Finlay Lines squeezed onto the curb. That slowed him down just as Luca Holmes Ballock was getting a push from Emerson McAndrew-Uren, who wasn't focusing on he was just Emerson McAndrew-Uren locked in behind, and it was just sort of one slow cart moving into one fast cart, And then obviously, yeah, you saw what happened. So I don't think it was the driver's fault necessarily, the teammates' fault necessarily. It just so happened that they both had the same coloured go-kart.
Yeah, I think it was almost two separate small incidents combining to a larger incident that hampered both Holmes Ballock and the O-plate.
6 minutes to go. Finley Lines has caught Jack Collinson. Now, no driver will allow themselves to be overtaken, you know, without putting up a fight. However, I think if Jack Collinson is smart, and he is, I think that the first time Finley Lines sticks his nose at the inside of that number 91 kart, Jack Collinson would do well to just say, okay, let's tuck him behind, because there's only one direction that Lines is going.
That is forward.
Yes.
He's going in straight lines towards the front, and I think that I imagine Finley Lines probably going to set another fastest lap of the race, and he does another 3/10 faster than the rest of the grid ahead of him. So 3/10 a lap, 1.6 seconds, and with some fighting at the front of the field, I think this is going to come together. Already has he got that move done. Now Collinson's sitting behind and going to push along. Lines, there you go.
The signal. Forward ho!
Yes.
The wagons roll as we go into hairpin number 1. It's calm down the front because that's sensible driving from these two. But Finley Lines is going to catch them whether they're driving, whether they're cooperating or not. That driver there, the O-plate champion for Synergy Racing, is on a mission.
He is on an absolute mission. Yeah, as you mentioned, Henry, the front four, I think, quite happy to just sit here for now, although it looks like Albie Friend just has a little bit of a pace advantage in that last sector over Reed, Griffin and McAndrew-Uren, and the others will sense that and think, right, I can't afford to let Friend have it all his own way, so I'm potentially thinking that Griffin or McAndrew-Uren will start to think about a move, as already Lines is pulling away from Collinson.
So hang on a second, 2 laps ago Finley Lines was in 6th and he was 2.8 seconds behind the race leader. He is now past Jack Collinson and is 1.62 seconds behind the race leaders, and he's got 4.5 minutes to go, and again he is flying on this lap without a toe. He is 300ths quicker than Albert Friend through sector 1 alone. Yeah,
I think potentially the karts in the front four are starting to come on towards the end of the race as the pace deficit they had to Lines is slightly reduced. That last lap was the best for Friend and the best for Griffin, although Lines couldn't beat his own best lap time. And let's have a look at lap times over the line once again. A 1:01.3 from our leader. Also a 1:01.3 for Lines. So Lines now doesn't have the pace advantage he once has. So he needs this front four to start battling. And I don't think that battling is going to come from Tom Reed in second place, giving it his teammate directly in front.
Yeah, you know, Albie Friend, okay. That was a long look over his shoulder from Albie Friend, and he wasn't looking at Tom Reed, he was looking to see where Finley Lines was. That is how switched on Albie Friend is. He took a long look over his shoulder, and there it is again. He's not even looking directly behind him, he's trying to look around the 3 karts. He's now calculated where his rivals are. He knows he's got 3 drivers directly behind him, and he knows that Finley Lines is on his way. And he'll think to himself, hang on a second, didn't Finley have a spin at the first corner, and now he's coming, so he must be quick. So you'll see Friend now definitely, look again. He gives Tom Reed another little signal. Say, okay, push. Tom Reed responds in kind. They start to drop Griffin and McAndrew-Uren. 2.5 minutes to go.
2.5 minutes, and it did look like the front two were starting to drop. Griffin and McAndrew-Uren in 3rd and 4th, although they've had a good first sector. It's nip and tuck at the front of the field, and it's going to be close as to where the Lines is going to catch them. With only 2 minutes plus a lap, it's going to come down to when they start battling for the podium positions, because of this 4, only 3 can get on the podium, and they know they don't want to start fighting too early because there are plenty more drivers that would like to get involved in this battle. Most notably so Lines, and then Collinson's also an outside shot as well.
Yeah, Lines, you were right, Piers. Lines' progress has stalled out. It's almost as though, Albie Friend, he's looked there and he's got his head down. Reed, Griffin, but again, we thought they were dropping Griffin and McAndrew Uren. The slipstream effect goes right in now. Well, see Emerson McAndrew Uren. Look at McAndrew Uren. He'll now benefit from this slipstream. Well, no, look at that. 12 wheels working together. Yeah. That's fantastic work there.
It is.
And here comes Griffin. Oh, Reed gets squeezed a little bit. That's going to give Friend a bit of a break. That might not actually help, though, because that separates the top 4 out. They can't slipstream and draft with another. That's going to bring lines closer.
It is, ever so slightly closer, although Friend wasn't held up in that incident, and the last lap around, Lines and Friend had almost identical lap times, so the gap remains constant from first to 5th place. But I think potentially for now, with this lap and 1 more remaining, this is going to be our lead battle. It'll be an outside shot for Lines. He hasn't quite got the pace now. So, unfortunately, McAndrew Uren just dropping away at this latter stage, although he's soon going to be brought into it because Griffin is probably going to have a go on the back of Reed, and who knows, Reed might fancy himself for a GP plate on his own. Right,
no,
so we are two more laps.
Go. He's still saying to his teammate, push me, push me, push me. Now, Reed obviously wants to win the GP, but what Reed wants to do more than anything, he wants to finally get a national podium. Because he wants, Griffin, he's had 2 nibbles now. McAndrew Uren, head down, trying to keep a watching brief. Here comes Griffin again. P2 for Josh Griffin. Now Reed almost like head down, nods his shoulders, okay, fair enough. Griffin doesn't defend because that will give the race to Albie Friend. Friend looks over his shoulder again. Finley Lines is 1.8 seconds now off the lead. Finley Lines' chances have gone.
I don't think they've completely gone, Henry, because this could turn into a bit of a scrap. But Friend at the moment, ever so slightly gapping. Again, he's very strong in that last sector, his Friend.
Yes, he
in fact,
is.
every lap, and he was strong in the middle as well. But every time we come to the start-finish straight, Sector 1 and the start of Sector 2, the toe is massive, and they are only 2.5 tenths behind.
Last lap board goes out. Let's not forget, Albie Friend missed warm-up this morning because he was throwing his guts up. He was being ill all night. He only got the circuit just before the pre-final because he's so ill. He's got to dig deep now. He's got to dig deep, Albie Friend. Griffin, Reed and McAndrew Uren are there, and they're waiting for you to make a mistake, Albie Friend.
Friend hasn't made a mistake. Good first hairpin. He knows he doesn't have to defend into the second hairpin. That could be enough. McAndrew Uren takes the final spot on the podium, but looking to cut back is Reed. Are they still side by side? No, McAndrew Uren's held that place, but Friend has enough of a gap. Griffin's right there. Is he close enough to have a look? Up the inside, Reed, contact. Oh no, Reed is out of the podium positions. Maybe Finley Lines could take positions here, but it is Friend who's going to take this one. Henry taught them across the line.
Albert Friend stands on business again, and he finally takes a Kartmasters title that eluded him the last 2 years. Well done, Albie Friend. He's not feeling very well, but I gotta say the best medicine is a Grand Prix victory. He has done it. Joshua Griffin with a fighting drive at the end of that one. McAndrew Uren crosses the line 3rd. Tom Reed misses out by 2 places, and a fist bump. Emerson McAndrew Uren, he and Albie Friend are good friends, and we'll see the sportsmanship, I'm sure. Jack Collinson takes 6, Reed recovers the 5th. The wait for a podium goes on for Reed, but he's getting closer and closer and closer. And Emerson McAndrew Uren following. Oh my goodness me! Oh, McAndrew Uren, he was trying to follow Albie Friend, and he didn't see Leo Livings, and he bounces Leo Livings through the air. Whoa!
That was close. Hopefully everything's okay with the air. Yeah, he's pushing his car back on circuit, so I think a bit of a miscommunication there, but also worth a note. Theo Bradshaw up 14 places to 10th. Luca Holmes-Ballock from the back of the grid after the start up to 11th. A great drive from both of those drivers. I didn't actually see that what happened there, Henry. I was looking at the timing screen.
Okay, well, I think we got that. We got a replay of that. Leo Livings is driving back. No, it was Luca Holmes-Ballock. I'm sorry, it was the other Synergy car, Luca Holmes-Ballock. Who I apologise to Leo Livings' family there. He finishes 16th. we could probably have a cool, well, we'll bring you the results in a little bit. That is absolutely crazy.
There we go. Good to see.
There's Panda. Lee Taylor is mechanic, his long-time mechanic, Albie friend. And I know Albie's dad, George, has got a special Panda T-shirt just for today. He's going to have to wear it all the time now. It's the lucky T-shirt. It's the lucky T-shirt. Here are your first results. Friend by 3/10 of a Griffin. McAndrew, you're in third. Lines fourth. Reed fifth. Collinson sixth. Then it was Haynes, Gilman, Chalk. Theo Bradshaw rounds out the top 10. Holmes Ballock 11th. Then Max Wheatley, Josh Cormack and Harry Taylor. And Luca Holmes Ballock is A-OK. And it was, oh, there he is. And he gets the congratulations from his teammate, does Albie friend.
I think the strongest driver of the weekend did win that race.
I agree.
Albie friend just had the pace to hold the lead of the race. He only lost it a couple of times. He went fourth in qualifying. Heat 1 first, Heat 2 first, Heat 3 first, Heat 4 first. Started it on the outside of the front row for the final. Of course, we saw that issue for our poster.
I've got to say, Emerson McAndrew holding his back there, almost to say sorry. And you know, there's Jack Collinson. Certainly now. They're looking at the rear bumper of Emerson McAndrew-Urin's cart. There's Wayne McAndrew-Urin. Did that cart sustain damage after the checkered flag? Oh, I think they're pulling Emma. Well, anyway, we'll see who comes out. Let's go down to Nicole Sutherland. Well, we've got two of our podium finishers. Who's going to be the third? Let's go to Nicole.
Here he comes, Albie friend, approaching the #1 spot. Applauses from the crowd then, from Strawberry Racing. You can tell by the way this driver has driven this weekend how much he wants this GP plate, and he's just done that. We'll get him to take his helmet off so we can see just how happy Albie is. On the side there, Albie's dad, you can see how excited families are. Such an emotional thing to come and win. Albie, if I can get you to take your helmet off as you are, and how happy are you that I can give you this GP plate?
Like over the moon. That's all I wanted for this weekend. So I did what I could and I just made the win happen.
And have you got anybody to thank specifically for this weekend? Who's helped you to get that plate?
My mechanic, Lee Taylor, Nathan, Mark Baines, my dad, and Cream Racing Engines.
I think your dad's over there. I'll let you run over and give him a big hug because I'm sure he'll be very, very excited.
Yeah.
We'll head over there to Joshua Griffin. Josh, I caught up with you before the race win. I know how much you wanted that win, but a second place is a huge achievement. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I think you raced really well as well, so much pace. And moving forward through the rest of the year, do you think this has given you some confidence?
Yeah, I think we'll be back next year in Mini, hoping to win.
And have you got anybody to thank for this weekend specifically?
Yeah, KR Engines, Toby, Jay, and my dad.
Well done, Josh.
Thank you.
We've got Emerson McAndrew-Urin then here as well. Emerson, first year in the mini class. Big achievement to be P3 here at Kartmasters. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a good race. We didn't really have the pace, but we just had to fight for it.
And then will you be back next year to maybe get that win in?
Yeah, next year, 100%.
I know there's a huge team at DHR behind you, but who else have you got to thank for this weekend?
I've got to thank Time Racing Engines, Harry Free, DHR, my mechanic, my family, and everyone who supported me.
Congratulations, Emerson.